this is PG. Welcome back to another episode of the VP Guide. Today I'll be looking at the photo mode in Mass Effect Legendary Edition on the PlayStation. Okay, let's get into it. Right, basic settings. So if you want to enter the photo mode, you've got to pause the game and then the triangle button will go in. There's an option at the bottom. Once you're in the photo mode, the left and the right sticks will move and rotate your camera. This is good for composing your shots. Then the left L2, R2 buttons crane. Craning moves the camera up or down, changing your perspective on the subject matter. The circle button will hide your user interface if you want to see what the photo looks like. And then if you want to exit the photo mode, you can press the options button, that will come out. Obviously, if you want to take a picture, you'll need to press the screenshot button on your PlayStation controller. The picture will then appear in your sort of image gallery on your PlayStation menu. Right, advanced settings. So camera, we've got free and orbit. Free is what you would imagine, you can move it freely. Orbit, it locks itself to the subject matter so you can't move it further, or like it's always tied to your subject. Tilting, essentially, well, it tilts the camera on its axis, so it's good if you want to create a sense of movement, dynamism or horror. Focal length, think of this like a zoom. Change it, you'll go closer, you'll go further away. It's good for making adjustments once you've composed your shot with the joysticks. Depth of field on or off, then you've got distance, f-stop, blur strength. So depth of field is really refers to what's focused, what's blurry. The distance is where does the focus originate. F-stop relates to how much is going to be in focus. So the higher the f-stop number, the more in focus. The lower the f-stop number, the less in focus. And then blur strength obviously dictates how intense that blurring effect will be. Then we've got saturation, takes the colour out, puts colour in. You know, do you want a black and white image? Do you want to make it pop art? Then we've got brightness. Brightness obviously lightens the whole image. Using brightness with the next slider, contrast is a good way, because if you bump contrast up, sometimes it becomes a bit ugly. You might need to raise the brightness with it to compensate. That's a little tip there. Then we've got filters. Filters, we all know what filters are, unless we've been living under a rock. They just add a layer onto your image, but there's no slider for the filter in terms of the intensity, which is a bit annoying. Then we've got enable film grain, which obviously gives a texturized feel to the image, which is good if you want to make it gritty. Film grain strength, you can change that because 100% is a bit extreme. Then we've got enable vignette. A vignette is a shadowy border around the image that draws your eye centrally, because it almost looks like a sort of eye in terms of shape. Bloom strength and threshold. Bloom affects shiny metallic type images or bright lights. The higher the bloom, the more sort of glowy, glossy type of feel. It's like a dreamy effect. And then lastly, we've got hiding options. So we've got hide the player, hide the party, hide the enemies, NPCs, vehicles. You know, you might have an image with lots of crap in it. You might not want everyone in it. So this is a good way of pulling them out of the image, making the image more bespoke depending on what you actually wanted. But anyway, that is the photo mode. So firstly, lack of light adjustments in terms of light and dark areas is a bit of an issue, because like I said in my review, this is quite muddy visually because they've luminance smoothed the imagery. They needed sliders for clarity and sharpness in here, but they don't have them. So every image you do is going to kind of feel quite flat in terms of the colour and the technical clarity. But it's an okay photo mode. Could have been better, could have been worse. 7 out of 10. That's the guide. Questions? Put them in the comments. This is PG signing off. Thank you very much.